don't just want the news, they want the truth. What others hide, I bring to you with evidence. Politics, corruption, human rights. No filters, no fear, just facts. I don't stop until the system shakes. Hello and welcome. This is Trending Daily and I'm your host Makhdoom Shahabuddin. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan steps beyond reaction, shaping peace in a fractured world. This week has changed the conversation around Pakistan's global role. The last 72 hours have carried unusual weight, not just because of the intensifying conflict involving the United States, Israel and Iran, but because Pakistan has stepped into a position that goes far beyond observation. It is now actively shaping outcomes. At a time when tensions in West Asia are threatening to spiral into a wider international crisis, Pakistan has emerged as a serious diplomatic player. Its efforts are no longer limited to statements or symbolic gestures. They are structured, coordinated, and increasingly influential. At the center of this effort is Pakistan's military and political leadership working in tandem. Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir has led high-level strategic engagement, maintaining constant communication with key figures in Washington while also engaging directly with Tehran. This dual-channel approach reflects a level of trust that few countries currently enjoy with both sides. At the same time, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has activated political diplomacy, traveling to Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Turkiye to ensure that regional allies remain informed, aligned and engaged. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not routine diplomacy. This is crisis management at the highest level, and it signals something important. Pakistan is no longer just reacting to global events, it is helping shape them. This shift matters because the world itself is changing. For decades, the international system operated on certain assumptions: respect for sovereignty, the importance of international law, the idea that global institutions could mediate disputes and prevent escalation. Today, those assumptions are under strain. We are witnessing a world where power often overrides principle, where international law is applied selectively, where major powers themselves contribute to instability instead of containing it. The ongoing conflict involving Iran is a clear example. What began as a targeted confrontation has quickly expanded into a broader crisis affecting global markets, regional stability, and strategic calculations worldwide. Energy routes are under threat, shipping lanes are at risk, financial systems are feeling the pressure. And in the middle of all of this uncertainty, the question is no longer whether the old global order is weakening. That is already evident. The real question is whether there are countries capable of slowing down this disorder. Countries that can rebuild trust, reopen dialogue, and create space for diplomacy. This is where middle powers come in. Middle powers are not global superpowers. They do not dominate the international system, but they have enough influence, credibility, and connectivity to make a difference. They can mediate, they can convene, they can stabilize. And increasingly, Pakistan is proving that it belongs in this category. Its strengths are not just theoretical. Pakistan has demographic weight, a capable military and nuclear deterrence. Its geographic position connects South Asia, West Asia and China. But perhaps more importantly, it has relationships. It maintains ties across the Muslim world while also engaging major global powers. This gives it a rare ability to act as a bridge in times of conflict. And right now, that bridge is being put to use. Pakistan's engagement in the Iran crisis is not accidental. Instability in West Asia directly affects Pakistan. Energy security becomes uncertain, trade routes face disruption, economic pressures increase, domestic stability can be impacted. So Pakistan has both the incentive and the urgency to act. But what makes this moment different is how it is acting. In recent weeks, Pakistan has moved beyond traditional diplomacy. It is not just responding to events, it is shaping the environment in which those events unfold. One important example is the emerging coordination between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkiye, and Egypt. A recent meeting in Islamabad brought senior officials from these countries together in what could evolve into a new regional consultative mechanism. Some have informally called it a West Asia Quad. This is not a formal alliance. There are no rigid commitments or binding agreements. Instead, it is flexible. It allows for consultation, coordination, and gradual trust building. And that flexibility is its strength. In a region defined by rivalries and fragmentation, even a loose framework of cooperation can have stabilizing effects. It creates space for dialogue, it signals intent, it builds common ground over time. Pakistan's role in facilitating this process shows a shift toward institution building, not just reacting to crises but preparing for them. And then there is Pakistan's coordination with China. The joint 5-point initiative issued in Beijing is a clear example of structured diplomacy. It calls for ceasefire dialogue, protection of civilians, security of energy routes, and adherence to international law. But more than that, it represents a framework, a way to connect multiple issues into a single approach to stability. De-escalation is linked with legality. Security is linked with diplomacy. This is not just a statement, it is a roadmap. And it positions Pakistan as a part of broader network working toward order in a fragmented system. Perhaps the most significant aspect of Pakistan's role is its mediation between Washington and Tehran. At a time when direct communication is limited and trust is low, Pakistan has provided both a platform and a channel. This is classic middle power behavior, acting as a mediator, offering a neutral venue, maintaining communication with all sides. Even if the talks do not immediately succeed, the fact that they are happening matters. It keeps diplomacy alive. And today's world, that alone is valuable because the alternative is escalation. A wider war in West Asia would have catastrophic consequences, not just for the region, but for the entire world. Energy prices would surge, global trade would suffer, political tensions would deepen. The risks are enormous. And yet, amid these risks, Pakistan is demonstrating that diplomacy backed by credibility can still make a difference. This is not about claiming that middle powers can control outcomes. They cannot. They cannot eliminate conflict or reshape the global balance of power. But they can influence events. They can slow things down and they can create opportunities for dialogue where none seems possible. And that is exactly what Pakistan is doing. Its recent actions show a combination of strategic clarity, diplomatic persistence, and political coordination. It is engaging major powers without aligning blindly. It is defending principles like sovereignty while maintaining practical relationships. It is balancing interests while pushing for restraint. This is not an easy position to maintain, but it is a necessary one in a world where extremes often dominate. What we are seeing is the emergence of a more confident, more active Pakistan on the global stage. A Pakistan that understands the stakes, a Pakistan that recognizes the risks of inaction, and a Pakistan that is willing to step forward when it matters the most. This moment is not just about one crisis. It is about a broader shift in how the international system operates. As traditional structures weaken, new forms of cooperation are beginning to emerge. Flexible partnerships, issue-based coalitions, regional frameworks. Pakistan is positioning itself within this evolving landscape, not as a passive observer, but as an active participant. And perhaps that is the most important takeaway. In a world increasingly defined by conflict and uncertainty, there is still space for diplomacy. There is still room for countries to act with purpose and responsibility. Pakistan's recent role in West Asia is a reminder of that possibility. It shows that even in a dangerous world, strategic thinking, credible engagement, and sustained diplomacy can help pull the system back from the edge. And in times like these, that is not a small achievement at all. This was Trending Daily. I'm your host, Makhdoom Shahabuddin. See you in the next episode.